So how many times you been back in Tally?
This is my second time here. The first time I actually came back was on the spring game. Got a chance to see the guys on the field and seen the modification they're doing to the field. That is unbelievable. See what all the stands are going to look like, a totally different place.
You don't recognize much of Tallahassee or FSU?
The whole city. I mean, hey, it's apartments everywhere. I mean, they put apartments in places where you would never think apartments supposed to be. I mean, it's crazy.
What obviously a great NFL career. You played what, 8 years?
8 years.
8 years in the NFL.
Right.
Just what was that experience like for you?
The experience overall was a great experience. Got a chance to meet some very, very fine men and great men on a daily basis. The thing I missed the most about it was actually the locker room talk, being in the locker room talking to guys about what they had going on the night before, what the week, how the family doing. So just take the football part of it. It's out of the question, just brotherhood. Right. And so that's the thing I miss about it the most.
Would you, during seasons, were you able to watch Florida State much when you were playing?
You try to as much as possible. Usually if you got guys that's playing against each other during that week, you kind of had a camaraderie to get together and watch the game. You can't watch the whole game most of the time. Sometimes you got to get rest because you got a game the next day. So you watch it sometimes, not a lot.
What's it been like seeing Florida State kind of come back again?
Well, I don't think we never left. I just think situations got better to put coaches and players in better situations to win. So yeah. I think that's been the biggest change.
Yeah, I was thinking back to when you signed with Florida State. It was one of the big, all-time big shockers. You know, FSU already had Leon and Lorenzo, and I don't think a lot of people expected you to come to Florida State. What was it that made you decide to come to FSU?
I can go real detailed into that one, but I'll just make it real simple. Florida State have a great history of having smaller backs. I'm on the 5'9", some would say 5'8". So they have a history of small backs. When I came here, Leon and Booker, they kind of showed me the way with talking how everything is ran. Then you got a figurehead with amazing coach in Bobby Bowden at the time. And in the back end, we had a great coach with the back end of the career was more Jimbo Fisher, had a great office coordinator. But it was just more the history, and had a reputation for having smaller backs, and a lot of smaller backs has prospered into great careers in the NFL.
I remember Coach Lilly talking about how hard they recruited you. Do you remember, were they after you missed? How intense was the recruitment overall?
It was a process like any other process. It was at that time I was adolescents, kids, so they really understand the recruiting process too much. You just seen a lot of guys coming in and out trying to tell you how their school is. But personally, with Coach Lilly and Odell, they pursued me. They talked to me, talked to my family, had a relationship with my family overall. So after I kind of narrowed down the situation actually on signing day, it was just like, do I want to stay here close to Miami? Do I want to go to Auburn where it's farther for my family? That's too far. Do I want to go deal with Georgia? So ultimately I just stayed in Florida. And at the time, University of Florida had just got Urban Meyers. And Urban Meyers come from an offense where they ran a lot of 5 wide. Didn't really use running backs too much. However, that changed with Percy Harvin when I got there, so that changed. So I know I just narrowed it down, and I just kind of slid into a place where here at Florida State.
How cool is it to see Odell still coaching? And
it's very cool,
still
man.
Some familiar
very
faces.
Cool. I just tell his dialogue on how many details had to put into the league and relationships he had with players overall. Every time he come, I got to say something over there because there's so much he's done for me personally. When I have a bad day, I can get down and sit down to a player's coach, somebody that actually played the game and actually in a place where he can talk to you on the other side of it as a coach. So it's been amazing to see him, man. He's a great coach. He's always going to be here. I think you got a guy like him, you got to let him leave on his own.
Right.
You can't just tell him when you fired or you got some other place you want to go. You got to let him leave on his own because he's been for a long time.
And then some of the guys you played with are here now, G. Ross and Ernie
Sims. G. Ross and Ernie Sims. I just seen EJ and AJ Manuel, so great having a great conversation with him. Actually, just exchanged his phone numbers. Haven't had his phone number ever, so that was different. It's cool.
And just even though the buildings change and some of the faces you still feel like home.
This coach, this is home. This is definitely home, no question.